Is your brand more than a product? Let me tell you, the answer is yes, it is. And if it isn't, you're in big trouble. You got a product, you got a service, more importantly, you got a connection. And that's what we're talking about in this episode of How You Grow Brand. Listen on, watch on, meet Yvonne. Let's go. Hey there, my name is Ed Howie, and this is How We Grow a Brand. If you like what you learned from this episode, subscribe to our channel, and hey, smash that like button. You ready to go? Let's get on to today's chat. Woo! What's woo but a second-hand emotion? How many different people on your team do your customers interact with in their ongoing relationship with your brand? You know, we can go in a room and we can whiteboard and we can talk about like the ideals of your brand and what you want your product to do and the rewards or that kind of stuff. But I will tell you, I'm reminded again and again and again that it all comes down to people. Yes, you have to have product. Yes, you have to have service. Every brand has to do that. But do you have the connection of people that align with your brand? Well, let me tell you a quick story. It's a travel story. It's a Delta story this time, and it's an Yvonne story of what a person aligned with your brand and basically committed and in alignment with your values, what that person can do for your experience, even if they don't literally buy something directly from that person. Because we oftentimes think the front line, the salespeople are the most important parts. No, it is every single person in the brand experience. And do they align? Do they connect your brand to your brand community? Well, Yvonne does that. Yvonne works in the Delta Sky Club in Atlanta, Concourse B, right near Gate 18. And what's funny about that is she's the bartender, one of the bartenders. And I haven't had a drink for over 15 years. So like I've never truly either received or purchased an alcoholic drink from her, but she has touched my life. Isn't that amazing? You see, so she tends bar in Atlanta, and she's been there forever. And I was going through there about 6-7 months ago on the way to actually give a keynote presentation. Traveling was picking up. People were in masks. And here she is saying, "Hi, I'm Yvonne. What's your name?" And she was smiling. She'd say, "Honey, here's your drink," or "Enjoy it," or "Enjoy your trip. Hope your flight's not delayed." She was actually conversing with every single person going up to her to get a free drink. And finally, there was a little bit of lull. It was probably like planes were taking off. And I walked up to there and she said, "Well, hey, honey, what can I get for you?" I said, "Can I ask you a question? Do you have a second?" And so there were a couple other bartenders working. So she stepped to her side. I said, "I just got to understand, why do you put so much energy and joy into what you're doing?" And she's like, "Why wouldn't I?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Ed, I get a chance to touch a lot of people's lives in about a minute or so." And she said, when they're walking up, even with these masks on, I can look in their eyes and tell if they're kind of like heading south or north, if you know what I mean. And she said, my goal is that when they walk away from spending time with me, is their eyes a little more sparkly than they were when they walked up. I was like, "Are you serious?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "One, I get a chance to touch people's lives, and I want to do that well," which is like totally in line with the Delta core principles and their desire to be just a leading airline, but also be trustworthy. I mean, how more trustworthy can you be with a brand than having the people actually want to connect with you versus just transact with you? So I was like, "That's amazing." And I was like, "What an incredible human you are," or something like that. She said, "Well, it's not only like benevolent." She said, "It's kind of self-serving." She said, "The reality is I come in contact with a lot of people when I work my shift, and I don't want to take their negative energy home with me." I'm like, that is brilliant. Not only are you doing something well for them, you're actually kind of protecting yourself because you are choosing to manage and to manipulate, if you will, positively, the connection you're making. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know if all my employees and I really try to look at the relationship we establish with our customers, our ongoing relationship, as are we truly trying to bring the most positive energy and impact in everything we do, not just some of the stuff, not just the start of the project or not just the end of the project, but every step of the way. Are we truly intending to have a positive influence, impact on our customer? And what's cool about it, it's not just like for the benevolence of the customer, it's also good for our own mental health. I mean, how many of us have been anxious at work? Now, I got to tell you, I think Delta deserves some credit for like setting her up with the opportunity, but I believe more importantly is, or let me say it differently, as importantly, it is what Yvonne chooses to bring to the table every day. And let me tell you, you got a team member that's not bringing it to the table, they're hurting your brand and you better do something about it. My mentor used to say, change people or change people. Well, I want a lot more Yvonne's working for me, and I want a lot more Yvonne serving me, and I want to serve a lot more Yvonne's. We choose what we bring to the opportunity of connection. How is your brand designed and expected to connect with your customers? Because Yvonne has a pretty high expectation of how she is going to deliver and connect. She delivers product. She connects with the humans by providing the service through the venue and opportunity she's provided, which is a bar in the Sky Club in Atlanta, Concourse B, near Gate 18. So I'm like, well, Yvonne, you're an amazing person. I said, but you know, I'm really like, I said, no offense, but I mean, what's amazing is, aren't you just like giving away free alcohol? And she looked at me and said, if that's how you choose to look at it. My question is, you today, human, employee, representation or creator of brand, leader, family member, the opportunity presented in front of you for connection, how are you choosing to look at today? And if you look at it with the intention that you are going to provide a positive influence and make a positive influence on every single person you come in contact like Yvonne does. And I've seen her multiple trips, multiple times, and this wasn't a one-time thing. This is who she is and how she presents herself. If that's what you choose today, that is how you grow a brand. That, more importantly, is how you grow a life. I sure hope this helps you with your brand, your business, your life. As importantly, I hope this has inspired your day. If you'd like to learn more about me or how I grow a brand, go to edhowie.com. Or better yet, if you want to book me to come speak to your group, click Book Ed to Speak, and I'll bring the woo to you. Can't wait to see you next time on How We Grow a Brand.